Well, what's going on, everybody? Curtis Wilkerson here with Inside Arkansas on the Pot at the Palace, back for another episode of the Hoop Hogs Video Mailbag, where you ask me an Arkansas basketball-related question and I answer it. We've been posting one of these every day for several weeks now, and we plan to continue to do that until the start of the college basketball season. But a couple things that I've noticed since we started doing this is sometimes these questions are really funny and really silly. I try to keep this in the 8 to 10 minute window range, short, sweet, to the point. You guys can listen to them while you have a cup of coffee in the morning, whatever. And then other times, the further along I get, I realize, someone else had a similar question that I already addressed. Well, I don't want to just ignore you because of that, because the question meant something to you. So what we're going to do today is a little bit of a rapid fire Wednesday, where we touch on a couple light ones, funny ones, and then get into maybe some stuff that we've talked about before, but maybe we try to tackle it from a little bit of a different angle. So we got a 3-pack for you today, and let's get right into it and see what we're working with. Connor Rayburn, he says, if Cal does something similar to Muss during his time at Arkansas, which was 2 Elite Eights and 3 Sweet 16s, would it be a failure or continued success? And then he asks, what would the fan perception be? And yes, this is something that we wound up talking about a little bit. I guess it was several days ago, but it's a fascinating question because me personally, and that's the only way I can answer it, because everybody has different expectations. They all feel different ways. It would be really hard for me to look at John Calipari being at Arkansas for 5 years, just like Muss was, and having, a couple Elite Eights and 3 Sweet 16 runs, and looking at that as a failure. Continued success, I think, would probably be about where I was at. Now, here's the thing, though. Would he miss the tournament 2 times during that stretch like Muss did? Muss's, great tournament runs were bookended by, didn't make it his first year, COVID canceled the tournament, but I don't think they were going to get in. And then obviously last year was not pretty at all. If you could avoid those things, especially, and say you make it into the tournament those couple years, then I would probably feel pretty strongly about it. Now, what you really can't have, especially early in the tenure for Cal, is what he had at the end of his time at Kentucky. That you cannot have the massive upsets and get bumped in the first round by a Cinderella in St. Peter's or Oakland. You just can't have it. It's done too much damage to his rep. It's taken away, I think, a lot of his brand. And quite frankly, I think people are sleeping on Cal and what he's still capable of because of those results. So you don't want to see that either. The fan perception, I think, man, it would be tricky. I think people would, I don't think they'd look at it as a failure, Connor, but I think they would probably see it as a, man, we're just stuck here, right? Like, if Cal can't get us over the hump, who the hell is going to be able to do it, kind of situation. I would understand that. But in fairness to your question, the expectation in bringing in John Calipari, an active Hall of Fame head coach, giving him a war chest of NIL that ranks higher than anyone else's in the country, so far as we understand. The expectation is to get Arkansas to the next step, which would be a Final Four national championship, something this program hadn't seen since 94 and 95. So falling short of that, I could see a world where people would look at it as a failure. I wouldn't necessarily feel that way if he had the type of postseason success that Muss did at Arkansas, to answer your question there. Next one that we have here in our little 3-pack, Kiss Off the Glass keeps coming with the bangers. This one's funny. He says, would you rather play against one Big Z size Nelly Davis or a 5-man team comprised of those outside the top 9 in the rotation? I almost Photoshop Nelly Davis's head onto Big Z's body in the little graphic here. I didn't want to be weird though, so I didn't do that. But yeah, this is interesting. Here's the thing. I would almost always rather be in a 1-on-1 situation than 1 versus 5, no matter what the talent disparity is. Personally, especially in my case, because if I'm playing 1-on-1, everyone outside of that top 9, now they might not be 5-star blue chip recruits or the top impact transfers in the rankings or whatever. Guess what? They're all a hell of a lot better than I am at basketball. So I would like my chances better in a 1-on-1 versus a 1-on-5 in this situation. So that's what I'll pick. But here's what I'll say. This is tough, man, because if I think about a Big Z size Nelly Davis, this takes me to Space Jam, right? I mean, this is kind of like one of the Monstars, if you really think about it. That's a tough combination of size and skill there. Um, and look, like I'm not Michael Jordan. I don't have his secret juice. So I don't know that the outcome is going to be good for me in either of these cases. Um, but that's kind of where I'm at. So a funny question and a good one. I like thinking about that kind of stuff, man. That was cool. I appreciate it. The last one from Josh James. This was fun too. He says, "Who will be the first former UK basketball player unrelated to Arkansas to show up in Bud Walton this season?" That's fun, and I'm glad you put that caveat on there because right away I was like, "Oh, well, probably like Dakari Johnson." Um, but then the Kamani Johnson factor there, so sort of related to Arkansas. It would be low key funny if it was, like Archie Goodwin or Malik Monk, right? I mean, I don't know that you can. I mean, that's related to Arkansas, but maybe not the University of Arkansas. So that would be kind of interesting. Tyler Eulis is probably the easy answer if he's going to be on Cal's staff, right? And he might be in there right now. Let's see. But if I'm thinking about just Kentucky players, maybe guys who've been drafted, I'd probably stay away from the the current NBA guys, I guess, since they'll probably be in season. Like maybe that's an all-star weekend type deal. You guys remember when Muss did that and they had all the the pro hogs in on all-star weekend? Imagine if Cal did that. It'd be weird because it'd be a bunch of Kentucky dudes, I guess. So maybe not. I don't know. How about let me think about let's see, he went and saw those dudes for the La Familia thing and in the basketball tournament a couple weeks ago. Willie Cauley-Stein. There we go. That's my answer. Willie Cauley-Stein will be the first one in Bud. So that's what we're gonna go with there. That's what we're gonna roll with. So all right. Well, hey, I appreciate these questions again. A lot of them can be people who want breakdowns and analysis and some hard hitting stuff. And that's great. I love doing that. But it's kind of fun to have a light episode here and there. We have a little bit of fun. So this was cool. I'm still racking my head about the Big Z size Nelly Davis versus the five guys at the end of the bench there. I might change my mind by the time I publish this episode. I don't know, but appreciate you guys again, as always, for the interaction, the engagement. It's very cool. I'm excited about this because it's been blowing up. We just keep getting a ton of questions. And when we started, like I said, the goal is to post one of these every single day leading up to college basketball season. If we do that, there will be no stone left unturned to talk about with this team, and no shortage of hot takes for people to go back and hit me with, as we get into the season. But it's been cool. I appreciate it. Make sure you get subscribed to our Inside Arkansas YouTube page. We've got a playlist there, the Hoop Hogs Video Mailbag, where we post these things every single day. So appreciate the support, but I'm out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. It's been Curtis Wilkerson with Inside Arkansas and the pod at the Palace. Everybody have a good